What is going on, everybody? We are back with another Bronco video. Still trying to get this thing ready to put the motor in. We're getting close. Last time we finished up most of our painting on our fenders, radiator support, and fender wells, and this time we're going to start cleaning that firewall off so we can paint it. Before we can do that, we've got to get something done with this spaghetti mess of wires. They're everywhere. In the 80s, they loved to put wire everywhere, it seems like. And this thing is no exception. It's full of it, and vacuum lines. And if you go back way back when we started this project a year ago, when we were messing when the motor was still in it, I was cleaning up and fighting some of that stuff then. Since then, we've pulled and built the motor, obviously, and going back in with it now. We do not want to put it in the same mess it was in before, so that's where we're going to be today. I fully intend this probably to be an all-day ordeal, and then maybe spend, I don't know, hour every afternoon after work maybe, finishing up painting on this firewall. But absolutely want to get it painted this week, so next week we can drop the motor, which is in bed over there under that blanket. Well, let's take a look at what we have here. And what we have is a bunch of crap, nightmare. And you have to be careful, because you see this, you see how this looks. These things are ultra brittle, and if you start messing with them much, they want to break, and that becomes an issue. So you can see that just, oh man, it's a nightmare. It's going to have to be sorted out and straightened up. Probably put a block under the transmission to hold it up so we can get the support rods we have in for it out, to paint all that back there. And you can see we have some issues, I mean, back in this area around this firewall. I'll show you back right in there. You can see we have some rust issues that need to be addressed. So we'll take care of those. And this master cylinder and power booster, they just look rough. So we're going to treat those and paint those, get a good layer of paint on that, because we don't want it to get any worse. Everything else looks pretty decent, so we'll go from there, see what we can accomplish today. Now, another thing I want to address too is that heater box right there. It's faded dingy. Now that's plastic, so it will have to be sprayed with adhesive promoter, like we did these plastic fender wells in this thing, before we can paint it. The housing with the blower motor is also plastic. We'll have to get it, paint it. I'm probably going to try to use that alternate color of spray paint I have, that darker gray, on a few of these things in here, just to kind of break it up from being all black, give it a little, little color, a little pop. Because we have things like this right here we could paint. That's your windshield wiper motor. It's got a little surface rust on it, so we've got this little housing right here for the vacuum control panel. That's what I'm going to call it. I don't know the official name, but that's what I'm going to call it. Probably put a little alternate color on there. Maybe be able to spice up like parts of our air conditioning, stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see going forward. But that is the plan for the day. I'll stop gabbing, and I guess we'll start right here with the headlight mess and get that done. But that's where we're at, so let's jump on it and see what we can take care of. I've got some wire loom, I got some black tape, I've got some spray paints and things, and yeah, let's knock this baby out so we can get that motor in. Here we go. Alright, I'm going to break in here and show you what I'm doing. I'm basically just wire looming everything, so I'll show you what I got so far. So I'm just going over, putting all new wire loom on, all across here. I'm reconnecting everything. It's one of them things that's just it's time consuming. It looks good when you're done. You know, you take your time to, and it has a purpose. One is to protect the wire. Two, when you have an older vehicle like this, you're going through here, your wire loom and everything, it gives you a chance to actually look at the wires and inspect them for frays, burning, you know, dry rot, whatever, broke wire, loose wire. Gives you a chance to do all that. So that's where we're at. I've got a lot to do. I mean, it is a lot to do. When you start pulling all that crap down, yeah, it's a lot. I won't wire loom all of it, but I would say I would probably wire loom at least a good 80% of it and reconnect it down just so it looks nice. And then you might also be wondering, why are you using whites? Why are you not using black, blue? Well, I am using a little bit of black. I have some black, but there's a story behind that white. I had a friend of mine call me up and say, hey, this guy's got a bunch of wire loom, it's brand new. Okay, what's he want for it? He's going to throw it away. Okay, alright. Well, I'll take it. If he's going to throw it away, I'll take it and use it on something. Well, here's the kicker, it's white. Well, okay, it's white. Bring it on. I'll use it anyway. So then he brings it, and boy did he bring it. There's like, it's a huge spool of this stuff, like, I don't know how many, 1,600 feet, something like that. A lot. There's a lot of it. But, hey, it's free. We're going to use it. The white is a little bit different, though, and it does stand out. On this black, it stands out. I think it'll be okay. I'm not too concerned with it. Anything at this point under here is an improvement, so that's where we're at. I'm going to mix it with the black, kind of mix it up a little bit. I don't have as much black. I don't have nowhere near as much black. I got a few rolls, small rolls, so I'll use that and primarily use this white, and it's what it is. We'll let it go. It'll look good with the blue. So there we are. I'm going to finish wire looming this side up. I've already put my ground wires back on. I've already fastened the connecting harness across. I'm going to go ahead and put my radiator overflow jug and fill jug on, get it in, get it plugged up, and then we're going to address that right there and get the rest of this fastened down, look as neat as we can anyway. So then we'll start digging into that a little bit more, and I'm prying at it right now, just kind of prying at it there a little at a time, pulling it down. But it's going to be a deal. So we're going to keep pressing forward here and see if we can get this done. We got to get back there to that firewall and get it clean so we can paint it. He's wearing that thing out. I believe you about got it. Yeah. While you got that out, go ahead and get that big rusty spot right there. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, and that one too. Watch them lines down there. Alright, Axel is knocking this sanding out. We've really moved along. He's got the brake booster and the firewall back there and the windshield washer motor, and now he's working on that heater box, and we'll be ready to do some painting here today. Yeah. And I scored big. The voice showed up, Bubba showed up, and they started working on this motor, and they finished assembling it and getting all the plug wires on and getting our new bolts for our exhaust manifold and harmonic balancer and the wiring, and got the oil filter and the fuel pump on. We're moving right along. And also, while they was here, we bled these brakes out, so now we have really good working brakes. so that's out of the way. I've got one more thing I really need to do with the gas tank, and I need to put a sleeve in for the filler neck. I may try to get it today, but I'm absolutely going to get the paint on that firewall. We got most of the harness recovered now with all new loom. The boys really come out here, helped me, really come through for me on this. We knocked this thing out of the park today. Still on the agenda is to do the painting on the firewall, and then basically today we're going to be ready. I'll paint a coat on today. I'll let it sit overnight all day tomorrow. I'll go to work. I'll come back home tomorrow afternoon. I'll blow another coat on it, and then we'll start to clear. And then hopefully around Wednesday I'll be fastening all the wiring harness back to the firewall and straightening all that, cleaning all that up. And I'm thinking next weekend is going to be the day. We're waiting on a carburetor to come in for this motor. I wanted to go ahead and just put a new carburetor on it and be done with it. Got a Holly on the way. So I'm hoping next weekend. Looks like we're going to have a full crew here, and we're going to see if we can make it happen. Get that motor in and get this thing actually started up so we can get it to paint. How's it coming in there?
Good.
You've done some mighty fine work in here cleaning that up back there and getting it ready for paint. So.
Yeah, that was good.
So, I'm going to start in on cleaning this, and me and him's going to get it cleaned, and then we're going to put some paint on it, and then I'll come back. It'll probably be tomorrow. When I come back, and we'll have paint on this, and I'll let you guys see what it looks like with the paint on it. And then of course I'll come back as we go through the week and show you the progress with the clear and putting the wires back on and all that good jazz. So this is another one of them videos that's just going to carry out over the course of 3, 4, 5 days as we get this Bronco knocked out. Well, she looks good now. We'll have to give this, like I said, a day or so to dry. Come in maybe tomorrow afternoon and start with putting the hoses and stuff like that back on. I've already shot one coat of clear on it. I just let it flash off, and then I went ahead and hit it with the clear. I mean, back in there is not really a big deal. Most of it is hid, but man, it sure looks good right now. So next thing now will be putting all the hoses back, tying them up the way they go, straightening them out, straightening out some more of that wiring harness, and cleaning up the rest of that mess of spaghetti. And we've got some painting on like these parts right here we've got to do. And other than that, she'll about be ready for the motor to go in. So I guess I will come back to this video in a day or so when we get ready to finish up this little paint right here, and I'll show that and what I'm going to do with that. And then we'll be on to painting the frame, painting the bottom of the truck, and dropping the motor. Dropping the motor is going to be the next thing we do, though. I may start on that frame some next week and just knocking the surface rust off of it. But yeah, we're almost there. Almost there. Alright, here we are a few days later. We have got the paint on the firewall and stuff. I'm going to show you now what it looks like. And I mean, that just turned out really good. Of course, you see there's still a mess of wires. We did get quite a bit of it loomed up. This side's looking really good over here, and this side over here is cleaning up. Now, this firewall, it is the Fusion Gloss Black, that's Walmart, 2-in-1 primer and paint, and the Rust-Oleum Fire Protectant Clear. We got about 2 coats of black and 2 coats of clear on that. Turned out really good. Then we have the what did we put? The Duplicolor low gloss, I guess. It's not flat, it's low gloss. We use that on our heater box, and we coated that with a couple of good coats of VHT flame proof clear. It's all stuff you can buy at Walmart and your auto parts store. It's worked out really good on this project, and like back there, you'll have dirt. You can't get away from that. And you'll have dirt and dust and things of that nature, but really there's nothing back there to be rubbing up against it, so it should stay, looking that way for a pretty long time, as long as we keep it clean. Then on some of our other parts, like our blower motor and our jack bracket and this piece here for our AC, our wiper motor, and this down here, this little cover over this vacuum stuff, and our master cylinder, we used Rust-Oleum, and actually that came out of a quart can, and I basically just brushed it on there. Stuff was rough and didn't really want to tape all that up, so just brushed it on. Took about 3 coats to get it looking that good. After that first coat, I was worried about it because the first coat does not ever cover really good. So let it flash off and then put 2 more coats on it, and it looks good. The gray, I'm not super impressed with the gray. Like it was marketed as a smoke gray. That is more of a primer gray gloss in my opinion, but it coated good. It's Rust-Oleum, it prevents rust. So yeah, there we are. It worked out. I mean, it breaks up the black, so that's, there's not that much of it under here, so it'll be okay. The rust that was rusty spots that was up here, Axel got in there and ground all that rust out and really cleaned that stuff up, the power booster and all that. So now the only thing we have left as far as painting, we've got to paint the back side of our fan. These brackets here, probably get one more coat on them. Our motor mounts, and I think I'm gonna spray maybe an aluminum paint or something on this. It looks pretty rough. I'd like to clean that up. Then these plates here, flywheel plates and cover and all that stuff for the trans, that'll just get cleaned. It won't get painted, don't need to be painted. So that's all the parts we have left to paint. We're going to knock those out tonight. I'm going to clean these hoses that are left that need to be cleaned, and then this weekend we should be putting the motor in finally. So we're going to jump on that this afternoon, try to finish that little bit of stuff up so we're ready this weekend. Here we go. Alright, we got these parts here, paint blowed on them now. Motor mounts, a couple little plates, and then like this part right here and that plate right there, those go on the engine. On the front, hold your air conditioning and your power steering. We got the back side of this fan painted. Starter, well, we don't even mess with it. The only thing else that I've got now left that I can think of is just have Axel clean our radiator shroud, soap and water on it. I cleaned my hoses, got those looking really good. If you're wondering what I clean my hoses with, I clean them with a Scotch-Brite, and I use this degreaser, and it's just stuff from Walmart. It's a spray, engine clean, degrease. I use that. I use Scotch-Brite and a rag, and I just basically wipe them off. And I mean, they look really good when you're done, because these hoses here looked really bad. I cleaned those. They all cleaned up good. So that should do it for this video on getting that firewall painted. So now I guess the next video coming will be us actually putting the motor in that Bronco, and hopefully first startup, which is always nerve-wracking. So yeah, stay tuned for that. We got to get this Bronco ready for paint after we get this engine in it. So be staying tuned for that. We get that motor in there and hopefully get it started, and then pretty soon we'll go for a drive. I guess other than that, we're done with this one. Appreciate everybody watching. Really appreciate all the new subscribers. Be looking for more great videos on this Bronco to come. We got a bunch of them to drop, and we'll catch you all next time. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and check out our Facebook page. Put a lot of stuff on there, a lot of update stuff, put all the videos there and where we're going to be, and a bunch of car shows, cool cars. Check that out, and I appreciate it. We'll see y'all next time.